clear this area out and cordon it off, no one thought that they would keep the press out. Like, do they not want accurate reporting? Guess they don't care about that.
Who cares? We had stories.
And at that time, there were 300 or 400 people already here. How had they found out about this already? We saw the light coming from the pond and started to cordon off that area. We wanted to make sure that the scene wasn't more contaminated than it was already, and that nobody got hurt.
On November 9th, 1974, something landed in this pond, in this silt pond out here. And so we have an immersive theater experience going on for folks where they get an opportunity to meet some of the people who were a part of that night and that weekend when it all happened.
I'm portraying the police officer, and as the participants move through the experience, I get to stop them at the gate and tell them that the area's been secured and they're not able to move past. Of course, they all have press passes, so then my job is to tell them the story of that night from the police's perspective. Having gotten the early calls, sort of dismissing them, and then finally responding, coming out here, and discovering the scene that was out here. Kind of crazy, hundreds of people out here, thousands of people eventually, and then the glowing light coming from the pond. And all of the events that transpired over the next week or so.
I think it's magnificent. I think that it's important to show the history to everybody. I mean, I came from another place just today to see this happen, so I'm content with myself.
Having an opportunity to kind of take part in this part of it especially was a big treat, so they did a very good job putting it on. This was really cool, honestly. I wasn't sure what to really expect, so just came out here a little bit with my fiance just to kind of check it out.
We listened to a speaker on UFOs who also wrote a book, so we're going back to get a signed book. It's been quite an adventure, and then this to top it off is phenomenal. The speakers, the whole experience, you really feel like you were part of it.
I've been always interested in the field of ufology, and in reading one book or so, I found there was a name at the back of the book that says Mutual UFO Network. So I figured, well, let me check into this. So I looked it up and everything else, and I says, by golly, I think I want to check this out. And I joined MUFON as a journal subscriber, which meant every month I got a journal about worldwide reports of UFOs. And then I took it from there and basically said, wow, I want to take this the next step and become a field investigator. The interest has been essentially precipitated from the denials all the time. People hear about these things, people see these things. Today, with everybody having cell phones and such, they have cameras and they're taking pictures, and they're tired of being told it's swamp gas or it's a star or something. They want to know what the truth is. Basically, I've talked to the people that were here. I've done research at the library here. I wasn't physically here. It was not a MUFON case per se. And I think the jury is still out, to be quite honest with you, because in talking with several witnesses, they indicated, I saw this, okay, and other people saying, I didn't see this. And then there's another group that says, well, these kids were bought off by the police to throw a lantern into the pool, but yet there's another group that says something was in there that was taken out when the sheriff or the assistant sheriff closed it down to the press and to the public. I believe something happened here because there were NORAD reports of objects in the area during that day. Okay, so people were filing reports they saw something. And you just don't discredit it. And I don't believe in discrediting anything.
A year ago, didn't know about this. And I have done in that time so much research and talked to people to discover what they think, what happened out here. I'm a believer that there was something landed in that pond, and it was not a lantern.
If it's true, who knows? I think that's up to interpretation. But for us, it was really important to tell a story and let people make decisions on their own. Plan is definitely to continue next year, maybe grow it. We really want to see, how we can help Carbondale as a community. The downtown area, there's some wonderful shops and restaurants, so it's just about growth.